All right, Wood.
That's me.
I fucked up.
Oh.
First time?
Yes, very first time. You never
very
have
first
before.
time.
Yeah.
I fucked up. I forgot to announce we had a mask off this week, man. And so the emails...
Oh, I thought we talked about it off air. You're right.
We talked about it off air.
Yeah.
The emails came in, and I am not going to be able to read any of them. We got some pretty good ones, too.
Yeah, we did.
Some ones that make fun of both of us, and some people that make fun of themselves. What a rarity. But we got a mask off this week. What is a mask off?
So for those of you that are just listening in for the first time, and we typically have those on our mask offs, that's because, we bring in somebody new. And with bringing in somebody new, they always bring in their own people. And what a mask off is, let me explain that to you. It's just simply that. We bring in somebody that's different than us. They do something that's different than us, obviously. They do it way better than we do. Way better. They have more knowledge about any other topic than us. And so we peel that mask off. We get to know them just a little bit better. And so without further ado, to our mask off guest, what is your name and what is it that you do?
Hey, my name is Greg Gossett. Thanks for having me today. Appreciate it. I am a professional stock trader. I've been trading for 25 years, and I also have a podcast on YouTube that I do every day during the last hour of the market, where I teach and I trade live and I mentor, and so yeah, that's what I do.
Well, don't be shy. We're down with OPP, other people's podcasts. We're not even in the same realm. We do two different things. So you go ahead and tell. What's the name of your podcast?
Name of the podcast is Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. It's on YouTube. It's during the last hour of the market. And I've been doing it for almost 4 years now. And I really enjoy it.
You got to have a disclaimer at the beginning of that podcast. You got to have one. If you lose money, it's not on me. Right? Yeah, I'm just showing you. I'm pointing at stuff. You do what you want, buddy, but don't come at me, right?
I run a disclaimer twice.
Right. All right. So for our mask off guests, we throw them some questions, warm them up. This is you preparing, your day with the stocks, man. This is you looking at Amazon 15 years ago, which is something I should have fucking done. But anyway, here's some random questions for you. Do you personally know any identical twins?
I do not.
You do not?
Ooh. No.
Wow.
I saw some identical twins the other day, hence why I have this question and our warm-up questions. And
gotcha.
I go up to them and I look at them both, right? And I look at one, I look at the other, and I go, "Are you guys sisters?" And they looked at me like I just fell out the sky, just be an asshole. And they're like, "Wait, we're twins." They got all happy to be twins then, right? We're twins. Yeah, no shit. All right. Ever been a witness to a crime?
Probably.
Okay. Enough said. I like that. You ever collect anything? You ever do a baseball cards, blenders, I don't know, oven mitts? You ever collect anything throughout your life?
I kind of do through osmosis from my girlfriend, because she collects rocks that look like hearts when we go on hikes. So
nice.
I've got a little collection in my house of heart-shaped rocks.
That's sharp, man. Okay. Last one for me. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh. Boy, that's a tough one. Boogie Nights.
Oh, wow.
Like Boogie Nights.
I never watched that whole thing.
Yeah,
I should go back and watch it. I heard at the end he takes his wanker out.
Yeah.
Just, drops it on the floor.
Yeah, it might be something you would be envious of. I don't know about that, though.
What do you want to turn this into, okay? All right.
I have one question for you, is all. Which era do you wish you were born in? Which era do you wish you were born in?
Oh. I kind of like where I was born in the 60s, late 60s. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We've had only a couple of guests say that, actually.
Right, that is a rarity. People normally go in the future or somewhere in the past, that Back to the Future thing, man.
I liked being a kid. I liked being a kid in the 70s. So it worked out well.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a good time, man. All right. What are we drinking today?
Oh, real quick here. So we're gonna have our guest here introduce ourselves. However, I'm going to put up, and we don't typically do this during a mask off, but I'm going to put up the Tiger Claw tattoo.
I went backwards.
Yeah,
I did go backwards.
That's okay. You know what? You've been off the last, 3-4 weeks. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Fair enough.
I'm putting up the Tiger Claw tattoo information. Remember, guys, tomorrow is the charity event to help out our guy Shay. So check out Tiger Claw Tattoo over there in Mill Creek, and that's from noon to 7 p.m. First come, first serve. They have different designs out there that you can pick. You choose from anywhere from $100 to $200. Any additional tip is up to you, and it's always appreciated.
Well, and I also want to thank the listeners that donated to Shay's fund.
Yes.
I mean,
How
we had a
could I
lot of
forget
people filling amounts that
Incredible.
amounts that you fuckers don't give us.
No, that's
So maybe I need to hurt something, okay?
Yeah.
Some of those numbers, I was like, God damn, all right, cool.
Yeah. Tiger Claw, you guys came through for Shay. It's not too late, and it's never too late to kick a little bit over. Remember, our Venmo at SoWhutChuSayin. Just put in Shay or Tiger Claw Tattoo. We'll make sure he gets 100% of that. No worries there on from our end. However,
Do either of you guys have tattoos?
I don't.
You do? And so we have little Jeannie over here who Elton John wrote the song about. She put her on occasionally. Any tattoos you want to talk about?
It's a lower back. When I got it, it was just cute and fun. And I turned 18 and thought, this is what I want to do.
90s, right?
Now it's called something a little inappropriate.
Lower back tattoo.
yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that term. I've heard that term. I just wasn't going to say it to you. Okay.
It's
Right
just
on.
in a place where nobody sees it. I never see it, so
Okay.
I forget it's there.
You forget it's there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you ever get another tattoo, Tiger Claw's where you want to go. The best in the business in the state.
That is
Those
true.
Those are the ones.
And our our guest always introduces our snaggles. Keith, you have a longer arm there. If you'll hold that out, what is it that we are drinking today?
Today we are drinking Jameson Black Barrel. Looks good.
Sounds like we're making world moves right there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Half
Sitting
the
at
bottle's gone already.
What time's the stock market close?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock our time. Yeah. So that's something that reminds me of. We're making inside traded deals, man.
Nice.
So you say you've been trading stock for 25 years.
Yes.
What'd you do before that?
Well, I was in the chewing gum business.
You in the what?
Chewing gum business.
I thought that's what you said.
Yeah. I was.
Bubblicious, bubble tape,
Hubba Bubba?
Buzz gum.
Buzz gum?
Buzz gum. I was a.
Have alcohol in it?
No, but
I've never heard of it. That's a real thing.
Yeah, I was an athlete growing up, and I
What sport?
triathlons.
Okay, I thought you were going to say soccer, and I was going to ask you to leave because
Yeah.
that is not
No.
technically a sport. Okay, triathlon.
Yeah. So there was.
Wow.
God damn.
You've heard of guarana? Maybe you've heard of guarana. It's kind of a stimulant.
Yeah,
And
I have heard of that. It's like a leaf or something you put on your tongue or something. It's a
yeah, you can do it that way,
Okay.
but I mean it's just a stimulant, and I used to take it for my racing and my training, and then it always came in a tablet form, and sometimes you don't have water and you have to choke it down. And I thought, if I could take this and I could put it into a chewing gum, this would be great. And so I in my early 20s I actually did that, and it turned made the samples, and we tried it and started a business, and it turned into a big thing. I mean, we had energy gums, we had weight control gums, we had dental gums, we had nicotine gums, and so kind of long story short, it became really successful. Somebody took us public, and we actually invented. Are you familiar with Zicam?
No.
Cold remedy.
No.
Okay, so that became a big product, and so but we developed that, took the company public, and then that's when I exited, probably when I was about 24, 25.
Oh wait, Zicam is the one that if you take it, like when you feel the symptoms of a cold, it's
Right.
before you get
It's
the
a
cold.
Z-Pack. Is it called a Z-Pack?
No, Z-Pack's a antibiotic.
Yeah.
That Zicam, you take it when you feel like, oh, I think I'm
When you
getting
feel
a
it
cold,
coming
then
on,
you take
You
it.
squirt it up your nose.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
You came up with that?
Well, our chemist did. Our chemist did, but it became a big product, and then
What the hell's our chemist doing, Keith? I'm just wondering.
Please making beer somewhere.
But that's how I got into trading, because I sold my company, and then around 25, that's when I started to trade.
What made you sell the company at 25 though? If you're making money and it's progressing, you have all these different things. Why'd you sell?
Well, because we went public, and then when we developed Zicam, it became a big product, and then Wrigley's came in and bought our company, and so it was just done.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Wrigley's came in and bought your shit?
Yeah.
Is it still out there?
Well, they bought our factory. I don't think they don't have the brands anymore. They don't have the brands anymore. They just
bought it to get rid of you guys. One of those type of things.
It actually was one of those kind of things. We were working on a dental gum for Procter and Gamble, and the president of Wrigley's came, met with our president, and he just didn't want us making gum for Procter and Gamble, so we just said we'll buy the company.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen.
I sense your humility, right? So I'm going to go ahead and assume at 24, 25, you were doing pretty goddamn good. You were fat pockets. Like you could go to you could go to the Journey concert and the BBD concert all in one day, and not even in different cities, right?
Right.
It was fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Bugle Boy and Cross Colors and all. You were looking good.
I was looking good.
No kidding, man. How many partners did you have?
I had one partner, really. Well, no, I guess I had about 10 partners, but I mean, we all did really well. We never expected in our wildest dreams that this would happen. And then when it happened, I thought, well, I guess I'm in pretty good shape here. I wonder what I'm going to start to do. And a friend of mine got me into trading, which was really bad at first.
Okay.
Because I was young, I had a lot of money. I didn't know what I was doing.
And nobody could tell you shit, right?
Nobody could tell me shit because I knew everything.
Right.
And it didn't end well. I lost over $1 million in like a month and a half. And yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal, but it taught me a lot of things about trading. I went on a walk. I walked the coast of Oregon.
Okay, I need to stop you for a second. We're going to have Oregon right there. I wanted to go back to the gum, but I heard you say you lost $1 million, and then you said you went on a walk.
Yeah.
Did you go on a walk to the food bank or to the welfare office? Did you go get food stamps, or you just walking to clear your mind?
I think he said he went on a walk on the beach.
Because you still had more money, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
You dropped $1 million. It pissed you off a little bit, but you were like, I'm going to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Not. I need to move back home. You didn't say that. You didn't say I need to move back home.
No.
All right. So I just want to understand how fucking good chewing gum business is. Wrigley's treated you well.
Yeah. I mean, the Zycam thing helped, but yeah, I just decided to go on a walk to
I went on a fucking walk
to
clear my head. I'm sorry.
Jeannie watched my house and my dogs while I was gone.
Just a walk. It was a month walk.
Yeah, it was long, it was longer than that. I walked the entire coast of Oregon.
Oh shit, you like Julius from Pulp Fiction. You're just gonna walk the earth.
Yeah,
huh?
I was gonna walk the earth, and just I had to decide. Am I gonna keep trading? What am I gonna do? I realized on that walk that I had money and I was trading, but I didn't realize, which turned out to be a good thing because I mean that is what started my 25-year journey of really learning how to trade. I had to decide, am I going to keep trading? Am I not? And that walk, I just needed to clear my head and I need to figure out. And from that walk, I decided, I'm going to continue to trade, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I spent the next 20 years studying with some of the most well-known traders and authors in the world. And I'd beg and plead and pay them to teach me and to train me about their methodologies. And so that's what I've done over the last 25 years now. I mean, and that's got me to the point of where I am with my trading skills now. And that's why one of the reasons I started the podcast, because trading is very, very difficult. There's a lot of advertisements of guys just, waking up in their pajamas and driving their Lambos and all sorts of girls, and it's very easy, and you have to work 2 minutes a day and you make $1 million a year. It's not true. I mean, trading is one of the
I've heard those commercials.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's one of the most difficult things you can ever do in
I've
your
also
life.
heard the commercials where they're like, we'll give you your first $100 to trade with, and then you'll turn a profit and then pay us, and we'll make you millions. And
it's
I've never paid them.
It's the drug dealer approach. You just give them the drug for free until you get them hooked, and that's essentially
that I understand. But Greg, you need to understand your audience. We've had a lot of people smart people sit right there. You're blowing my mind, right? And I'm stuck. I hear your story, but I'm stuck on you walk the coast of Oregon. I say to myself, how'd you get back to your car? Did you just walk to an airport and hop on a plane, or did you have somebody pick you up, or did you say fuck that car, it's bad luck anyhow? How'd you get back to your car?
So I had a friend drop me off at the top of Oregon, and then I walked to the bottom of Oregon, and then I was going to fly home, but I had my dog with me. I had my German Shepherd with me.
Oh, beautiful. That's badass.
Yeah, one of my pack I was telling you about. And it was a time of year where airlines wouldn't let you fly with an animal. It's too hot. So I bought like a $400 car, and I headed back to Utah, and I thought, well, it might make it the entire way, but if not, I had a friend that was going to come pick me up, and it made it the entire way. And it was actually September 10th, 2000. It was the day before 9/11.
2001.
I got home, Jeannie was there, and then the next morning we woke up and it was 9/11.
Wow.
Was it a Toyota Corolla?
I was just gonna say it was a Honda Civic.
No, it was like a Pacer or something.
You found a Pacer in 2001?
Something like that. I had to turn it on with the screwdriver. I remember that.
Oh, that's called a stolen car. But
Yeah.
I mean, witness to a crime, right? We're not going to talk about that.
So what did you do with the $400? Is that gas? Is that why? Because you stole it and you just $400 worth of gas to make it?
No, I bought the car for $400.
Yeah.
I bought the car.
Okay, so you get back, 9/11's popping off. You
Yeah.
sold your gum company, which is something I would really like to stand on, but we'll be here for 4 hours. I got to ask a question. Flavors of gum. What is it? How do you know how you make gum? Do you know that?
Yes.
Can you talk
I
about
would
that
hope
just a little?
so.
No, he had chemists.
No, but that was later. I think he said in the beginning he started it.
Yeah.
How did you make gum organically yourself? What did you make? Is it the tree stuff that they tell you that the Native Americans used
Oh,
to
yeah.
You know
It's called Pilu.
Pilu.
Yeah. Well, when I first started, there was a company that sold gum base, and they were owned by Wrigley's as well. And if you bought gum base for them, they would make samples of any chewing gum ideas that you had. And so, I mean, essentially it was a caffeine gum, right? This was like 1990. This was before all the caffeine products. I mean, everything now is just caffeine, everything. But back then, there was just gum, and that was it.
Fresh Up. Remember Fresh Up gum? The little burst in your mouth?
Gum.
Always made me feel like I went to like a bar I shouldn't have gone. You know what I mean? Just that's burst in my mouth. I like that a little too much. You know what I mean? Remember you put two in on each on one side and it bursts in your mouth? Oh, God, the 70s
You just
and 80s.
have gum base, and you add in flavors, and you add in emulsifiers, you add in all sorts of different stuff. You just heat it up, you mix it up, and it's just like making brownies, basically.
Okay. All right. I hear brownies, I think weed, but I'm trying to stay focused. I want to go one further step back, and I want to talk about the triathlon. So that's the bike, the swim, and the run.
Right.
How many of those did you compete in?
Oh.
Really?
20 a year, 30 a year.
Do you have foot, ankle, knee problems or any residual problems from that?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I was a swimmer in college, and it just seemed like it was a good fit for me because I like to track in high school and things like that, and it was great. I mean, it turned into the chewing gum business essentially.
Yeah, well, it was real great.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
University of Utah.
What did you major in?
Business and drama.
Oh, you in plays and stuff too?
Yeah.
God, I should have fucking gotten it up, man. So, being a kind of jock, right? I didn't do that. That was like
Keith's an aspiring actor that just hasn't got his break yet.
I just haven't been in anything.
It's on its way.
Yeah, well,
It's coming.
Yeah.
In the mirror every morning. I can act the shit out of a movie in the mirror. Don't give me. You can't handle the truth. All right. Anyway. All right. So you did a bunch of triathlons. You did the gum. Now you're walking back from Oregon, and you meet the Yodas of inside trading. How do you meet those people? No, excuse me. Inside trading. That's taboo. You almost shot me, didn't you? Because you can't do that. That's a bad thing. How do you meet the people that are going to teach you how to trade?
Well, there's popular books and there's popular channels, and I reached out to all of them and basically said, hey, I really want to learn how to trade. Will you teach me? And most of them said no. And so I just continued to ask them, and a lot of them said, no, I'm not interested. And I said, oh, come on. I said, look, I'll donate money to charity. That usually worked. But it worked. I mean, I got everyone that I wanted to get, and I just learned all these different approaches and different, philosophies about trading, and that's what I do right now. I mean, if you really want to learn something, you have to go to someone that really knows what they're doing, and I think the best way to learn anything is one-on-one, whether it's ice skating or whether it's guitar or whether it's trading, and So yeah, I mean, I just on that walk, I decided I really am going to learn to trade from people that really know how to do it, and so that's what I did.
The fuck? How long did this walk last again?
Oh, it was probably over 2 months.
That's fucking incredible. That's odd. I would like to do something like that. I don't have the patience. You know what I mean? I'll walk somewhere, but after a while, you're just like, am I there yet? How much longer? You know what I mean? How many pairs of shoes did you go through?
Just one.
Just one pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you think about it, he walked, but he's also a triathlete. So that's how many miles? If you added all the miles together, the run, the bike, the swim, how far is that? That's 127 miles?
Well, there's all
If
sorts
it's a
of
full
different...
triathlon. We're talking about the
like an
Ironman.
Ironman?
Yeah. Yeah, you're about 100. Let's just call it 127 miles to be fair.
Yeah, it's about right.
Don't let his dad bod fool you. I mean, Wood has run marathons. He is a runner.
Yeah.
He runs. I drive, and like I said, I walk till I can't walk anymore. Then I get in the car.
Yeah. So that's why he was able to walk it, because if he's done an Ironman or even multiple halves, then he could walk that.
Did you stop at a hotel and sleep, or did you just pull off to step off to the side of the
sleep
grass?
on the beach?
It depended on how far the towns were apart. If they were 20, 25 miles, I'd just walk from one to the other. But if it was like 50 miles, I'd walk and then I'd camp, and then I'd walk into the town the next day and then get a motel.
That sounds awesome.
All right,
I would. Yeah.
Let's get to the trading. We're almost to the trading. So you're paying these guys. You're going to donate money and teach me your ways.
Yeah.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Right? Teach me your ways.
Yeah.
And so who, if you can say, who was the person that said, okay, donate to my charity and I'll teach you my ways?
Probably the first one was Larry Williams. His daughter is Michelle Williams, the movie star. I don't know. Was married to Heath Ledger. If you guys remember that.
I know Heath Ledger. I don't know who Michelle Williams is.
He was the Joker.
Yeah, no, I know who Heath Ledger is. I'm with
okay.
him. I don't know who Michelle is.
She's a movie star. I don't know.
And you just met this guy by kind of networking and
No, I just reached out to him. I just reached out to him and said, hey, I need help with trading, and I'll pay you whatever you want, and you have time, and so forth. And so, yeah, I got with him. He taught me
the ways.
He taught me his ways. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways. There's many different ways to trade, and one of the main things is you have to look at your own psychology and your own personality. I could give you the best trading methodology in the world for like trend trading, but if that's not you, if that's not something, you have to find a type of way to trade that fits your personality.
Okay. So is trend trading like flash in the pan, like it's what's going on right this second, and then there's like long-term trading that's not trend trading, if I understand?
Trend trading is long-term trading.
Oh.
It's just following the trend for a long time. I don't like to hold positions, longer than 4 or 5 days. So you could give me the best trend trading methodology in the world, but it just wouldn't work for me because I'm more of a short-term trader. So that's a big part of trading, is finding a methodology or strategy that fits with your personality. Because if it doesn't fit with your personality, it can be a best approach either. But if it just doesn't resonate with you, you're going to have a difficult time with it. So I teach trading, right? I teach trading people all over the world, and I really try to talk to them and speak to them and try to get an idea of what's comfortable for them, and then I come up with a trading strategy based upon what they've told me.
Taking people out of the equation.
Yeah.
Objects. Are you sentimental?
Yeah.
You are sentimental.
Yeah.
See, I would think you would not be, because you're so quick to trade. Like, I'm out of here with this, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But you are, like, you have a leather jacket from your walk in Oregon, so like that. I wouldn't think you'd be like that, but I'm not smart either. I was focused on.
Well, I'm not too sentimental.
Took an Uber back.
With trading. I mean, other parts of my life I'm sentimental, but in trading, no, you don't want to get married to things. You basically want to be a speed dater. You can't get too sentimental. I mean, trading, the students that I have and the traders that I know, ego is the biggest issue. People don't want to take a loss on a trade, even if it's a $5 loss or something in them. Ego is a killer in trading. You just, trading, you're going to have wins, you're going to have losses, but you have to take the losses. They're just the expense, right, of of your business because trading is a business. And you have to keep those losses small. I mean, we have an equation in trading where big wins are acceptable, small wins are acceptable, break-even trades are acceptable, small losses are acceptable. That's the math to be a long-term profitable trader. But what will kill you in trading is if your ego gets in the way and you don't let yourself take a loss because you just don't want to take a loss. And I know many people like that, but it's, the analogy that I use when I teach is, you have a garden and your vegetables and your flowers, those are your winning trades, and you want to let those grow and you want to let those bloom. But if you have losses are the weeds in your garden. And if you let the losses pile up and get bigger and bigger, it just chokes off the rest of the things that you want to grow. So everything in trading is about risk to reward. It's about getting out of losing trades very, very quickly, just not having an ego, just boom, I'm out of there. That's it. And then also having the strength, the ability to let those winners grow, because it always feels good to take profits. Oh, take a profit just feels good, but sometimes it's not the right thing to do. So it's very counterintuitive. But in trading, you want to be very patient with your winners, and you want to be very impatient with your losers. But most people do the opposite. If they have a winning trade, they want to hurry and they want to quit, take that profit because it feels good. But if
that's the ego thing.
That's the ego thing. Well, the ego thing is more when you have a loss.
On the losses, yeah, I can't deal with this.
I can't deal with that. I can't take a loss. But I mean, I told you earlier about losing more than $1 million, right? That was my ego.
Yeah.
It's like I had a couple stocks, WorldCom, Enron, if you guys remember those.
Yeah, I remember WorldCom and Enron.
Yeah, I was right in the middle of those. And, I just didn't want to take the loss. But there was fraud going on in there. Of course, I didn't.
That's a variable you can't predict.
Yeah, I couldn't predict. It made sense to me. But, I wrote it down to zero. Unbelievable.
Really?
Just wrote it to zero.
So there's the patience. You were like, all right, it's going to bounce back. There's no way these fuckers are sticking dicks in this many asses across America. But guess what they are? When it went to zero, you're like, oh, I guess they did fuck half of America.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
That
happened.
Yeah.
Right. So the New York Stock Exchange, that's the biggest one in America or in the world?
I actually don't know the answer to that question. I would probably say the world.
The world.
Yeah.
So there's other stock exchanges across. There's one. I think there's one in Tokyo. Am I right? Or
sure. There's one in London. There's one in Tokyo. I mean, there's one in. Can't remember. What's the name there? Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's major stock exchanges.
What happens over there? Does that affect you as well? Does the world affect you, or just New York Stock Exchange?
Well, sure, the world affects.
Okay.
The world affects, but they're on different time zones. So, but everything really keys off of the American Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, and the NASDAQ.
That's why those fuckers are so arrogant. New Yorkers. You know any New Yorkers?
Yeah.
They're fucking pain in the ass, aren't they? And I can say that because I got a lot of family there. Explain to me bear versus bull. I think bull is good and bear is bad.
Bull is bullish, meaning you want a stock or something to go up.
Okay.
Bear, if you're short the market or you're betting on the market going down, it's a bear, because a bull pushes up with its horns. So they want it to go up. The bear comes at you
and pushes down.
That's where bull and bear
comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you know what year the stock exchange started?
I do not.
Okay. Here's what I got.
Do you know, Keith? I don't know. It just felt like a question that you had to answer.
I don't know.
To. I have no idea.
I don't. 1874.
Yep, that's when it started.
Yeah, we don't know. Here's my thing, though. So here's the stock exchange. You talked about going public like you did with your gum company.
Yeah.
You go public, and so there's buzz depending upon the amount of money that business is making, right? So like somebody like when Amazon went public, there was buzz behind that. People were like, oh shit, I can get a piece of that, because that's what you're doing. You're buying a piece of that business, right?
Right.
And based on how good or how bad it does, that's where your money goes.
Right.
So when somebody goes public, it's like the Green Bay Packers. They're giving you a piece of that business.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You own an equity in that
You own
company.
equity, and based on sales or success, that's where it goes up and down. Right. My question is, why can't you do that with people? How come I can't buy like a stock in The Rock? Like when The Rock was just a regular wrestler, how come he can't say, I'm going to go public, and you send him money for his venture, right? And then based on how he does, you get money back. How come you can't do it? Is that too close to slavery? Is that why you look at me like that?
I was thinking that you said that, and I was thinking like Kevin Hart. Like I would have loved to invested in Kevin Hart in the beginning.
Right.
You know when he's at the dive bars, trying to get a name for himself. Like I'm gonna invest in Kevin Hart. Then when he gets big, and I got a piece of that pie.
I think it's a great idea. I've told people for decades, if you were stock, I'd buy you.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. So how come that's not allowed? Why do you think? Just your summation on that.
I think it's something that could happen in the future.
Well, but we do it with do they do it with like sports teams? Can you buy stock in sports teams?
Green Bay's the only one that comes to mind. Packers.
They're public.
Yeah, they're owned by the fan base.
Yeah,
so you can buy shares of that.
So I mean, essentially, if you're buying a stock in the Packers, you're buying a stock in whomever is part of that team, right?
So, and it's ownership when you buy a product, right? When you buy stock, it's ownership of that business.
Yeah, you get a small percentage of what, like, Apple. You buy a share of Apple on $150, you get that one little small percent of Apple. But I love the idea of buying stock or selling or shorting. Yeah. There are people that I would short as well, meaning I want it to go down.
Okay.
You meet some people, I'd short that guy.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you help me understand this. So if you say I would short that guy, what is that? How does that benefit you?
Well, I'm just saying in kind of tongue in cheek.
No. I'm saying like in the stocks, like you
in
want
the
to go
stocks?
to that. So
yeah, why do you want to lose money on that guy? Why do you want that guy's?
Why do you want that? Why do you want that to go down if you're invested in something that the way I see it is I always want money to go up. So why would it go down and you want to bet on it to go down?
Greg, let me try this one. Because you think it's going to go down. You'll be able to... No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, you were almost there.
Okay. All right, you go. I'll shut up.
You tried... Follow it up. You almost got it.
So you bought it for $10. You bought Kevin Hart for $10, and Kevin Hart goes down to $6, and then you sell it, right? No, then you buy more because you're thinking he's going to go back up. How's that?
So you're close. No, you're close.
Give me a bone.
I'm bringing it back. Okay. So
all I know is after this podcast, we're going to kill the New York Stock Exchange.
Can I show you this? Stock exchange started in 1790.
Oh, you're 1790.
Close. Yeah,
you were a century off, but yeah.
Hey,
thank you, Jeannie.
You got the right 70s span.
So when you short a stock, you're betting that the stock's going down.
Okay.
Whether or not you think this business is going to, not do well in the future, you could short the stock, or from a technical standpoint with the charts, which is how I trade, it's technically, different indicators and so forth. But when you sell a stock or when you short a stock, you have to sell it first, and then you have to buy it back. So when you buy something, you want to buy it at 5 and you want to sell it at 10 and make that $5 spread. But when you're shorting, you want to sell at 10 and buy it back for 5. So that's where you make the difference in the $5. So it's the opposite. Most people always think I'm going to buy something low, sell it high. You understand that part.
Uh-huh.
But if you think something's going down, you can make money from betting on it going down, but you have to sell it first. If you sold something for 100 and bought it back for 50, so you'd make the $50. So that's the difference. And I like to short. I short stocks a lot, but what I was talking about, people was kind of tongue in cheek, right? There's some people I'm like, oh, that guy's doing.
So like Vin Diesel, we can use him.
You want to short Vin Diesel?
Yeah, we can short Vin Diesel.
All right.
Yeah.
He's a terrible actor.
We don't like Vin Diesel.
Oh, you don't like Vin?
No.
But,
I watch the shows he's in, but he's still not a great actor. I think this is where I think Keith, I would push for you to take his role in all of those.
I could do it.
Yeah,
I could do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I could do it.
I could totally do it. Anyway,
here's the thing though. When you short it, so I bought it for 10, I sell it.
You shorted it at 10.
I shorted it at 10, and then I buy it 5. But if it goes down to 3, I'm ass out still. So you got to still kind of know the product to see if it's gonna go back up, right? Because you don't want to sit on something for $5 and then it goes to $3 because then you lost $2.
That's right.
Right? So
yeah.
It can't be something it can't be Enron, right? That you're going to short because that keeps going down, although nobody knew that was going to happen.
Right.
I guess nobody knows any of this shit, right?
It's a very difficult profession.
But you watch it, and I assume that you can kind of predict, like, what may be going down, what may be going up. Like, you've been doing it long enough. I assume that you can kind of predict that in a way.
So, in the stock market, there's two different approaches. There's what's called fundamental approach, where you look at their sales, you look at their income, you look at their net profits. I'm a technical trader. I'm a technical analyst. So I short based upon the technicals of what's going on with the price. And the theory behind that is the chart, what it's doing, the price action of the chart, everything that's fundamentally important to that company is already priced into the chart. So when I look at a chart, I can assume all the known information, all the unknown information, because someone knows it, is priced into the chart.
Okay.
So that's why that's why I do technical analysis, and I fully believe that everything out there is priced into the chart. And when you're trading, it's all about picking a spot. If it moves your way, staying with it, but if you're wrong, getting out very quickly. I mean, that's the golden rule in trading. If you're wrong, get out quickly. If you're right, stick with it. So and people have other theories. They think, oh no, fundamental is the only thing that works, and then technical analysts say, no, technical analysis is the only thing that works. Probably the best way is if you find a company that has good fundamentals, but you only trade it based upon the technicals of what's going on. So, yeah.
What's going on in the world can tell you that too. Because like right now, like you wouldn't want to be, like brick and mortar is probably, I'm an idiot, so you just shake your head and I'll stop talking. Either way, brick and mortar wouldn't be the way to go now. Everything now is out in the ether. So like, if is Uber public? All right, that'd be one you want to get on, right? But something like I don't know, the actual building of PetSmart, right? Because sooner or later, all that shit's gonna be online, right? Because Amazon is King Dingling walking around out here, right?
Yeah.
And they can just get everything. So sooner or later, I would think PetSmart wouldn't have to have a brick and mortar. Because it's just product, right? And then product, I can go on, because nobody leaves their fucking house anymore anyway, right? You can just go on and say, hey, I need 80 pounds of cat food because I got 16 cats, right? And some lint brushes because, I got to go to work once a week to show my face, right? And you type that in, and then somebody like Amazon brings it to you, or, Pet Dash or whatever's coming up next is going to bring that to you. So would you advise buying stock in brick and mortar, actual physical buildings now, or is it more all the stuff that's in the ether?
It's hard to say. I mean, some companies like Amazon, who are definitely internet based, they're starting to build brick and mortar stores.
Oh, really?
Well, the Amazon, they have that grocery store where you don't even have, they don't have cashiers. You just go up and you put your stuff in, and the store knows what you put in your cart. And then you just leave.
The fuck?
Yeah.
What?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
And then you have like CVS that's getting out of brick and mortar and going more online retail. But I was talking to you before about fundamental versus technical analysis, and people ask me all the time, what do you think about this company? What do you think about that company? I was like, I don't know. I need to look at the chart first. The chart will tell me what's going on, because all the available information, even the insider information, it's in the chart. People can say, oh, this company's going to go up, and they'll give you a million reasons why it's going to go up. But if I look at the chart, if it's going down, I'm like, you may say that, but the chart says otherwise. And the truth is in the chart.
Is this chart available to everybody, or is it just to people that can lose $1 million and walk around?
No. No.
Where do you get the chart at? Is it?
Oh, there's all sorts of charting programs out there. I mean, I could show you guys some later. But yeah, everything is in the chart. Like if there's always stories. I mean, like about crypto, right? Like, okay, Bitcoin's going to this, Bitcoin's going to, there's all sorts of stories, all sorts of narratives, all sorts of explanations of why, and people really buy into it. But I don't. I look at the chart tells me really what's going on. So it's a nice feeling. I don't have to figure out balance sheets. I don't have to figure out income statements. I don't have to do all this fundamental analysis. I can just basically look at a chart, and I can say, okay, here's a price. If it stays above this price, I'll ride that up. If it just even goes down a little bit, boom, I'm out. That's it. And that's the key to profitable trading.
So do you have an opinion or a feeling on like the Bitcoin stuff? How that?
Well, I trade Bitcoin. I trade a lot of Bitcoin. I trade it every day. Person that I trade it for is a huge Bitcoin bull. He thinks it's going to 200,000, going to 1 million. But when he tells me that, I take it with a grain of salt because I just base it what's going on with the technicals. And so it's not about the story and the narrative. It's about what the chart is showing you. So I don't really have strong opinions about anything other than the chart picking a level. If I'm in, if I'm wrong, I'm out quickly and small. If I'm right, let it run. That's what's important.
Greg, here's where I'm a little fucked up, okay? Bitcoin, that's cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is that? What, like, just all of a sudden I can say, oh, I'm going to start selling Pebbles, right? Yep. Pebbles is now money.
Yeah.
Anybody's down with me. If Jay-Z got on top of the stage right now and said, anybody's got a fucking green rock, that's money now, and that's all I'm taking at when I'm selling my T-shirts and my hats out in the lobby.
Yeah.
If you don't have a green rock, you can't buy shit.
Yeah.
How does somebody just come out the air and just say, hey, look, all of a sudden, Bitcoin, what backs it? Because I was always told there's money in Fort Knox and the gold backs the money, right? And you laugh because it's bullshit, right?
Yeah, probably.
As I got
Gone now,
older, I knew it
yeah.
was bullshit.
Yeah.
But things like, what is that, RIVN stock and cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, and what's the other one? There's another currency one.
Dogecoin.
Doge.
I don't know how you
How
pronounce
do you
it.
just all of a sudden say, hey, this is it, guys? And you don't go to a store and see we only accept Bitcoin, right? You see no checks. You see that all the time.
Say
and
exact change only.
and when you see no checks, you got a picture of Wood's face up there because he's got a lot of kids and he bounces checks
No,
sometimes.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I got a card that's got an EBT on it.
But how do people just come up with new money? How does that happen? And how's the government not tamping that down and say, hey, no, this is how we get down? How's that happening?
Well,
Does the government have their hand in it?
They might. I think the government could come in at some point and shut it all down. I think they have the power to do that. It's just, it's the time that we're living in, with the easy money and the low interest rates and all this.
Easy money? I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I ain't got no easy money.
No, I hear you, but from like the banking and, interest rates being low and so forth. I mean, there's a lot of money out there. That is why money is chasing equities, and that's why money is chasing real estate, and why everything is being bid up so far. I mean, we're in a crazy time. I mean, it's like a feeding frenzy of speculation going right now, and that's why I'm a little bearish on the market. I'm a little bearish on cryptos and things like this because people are just, with reckless abandon, just buying assets that really have no value underneath it, like Dogecoin.
Doesn't it feel like
a joke?
I get
Well, I don't mean, what I mean is it was literally started as a joke. The guy that's, he started it.
It all
as
started
a
at the
joke.
same time as the GameStop stocks.
Yeah,
when
the
all
meme
that
stocks.
That was a couple months ago, 6-7 months ago.
Yeah, and that's when that all started too, right about the same time.
Yeah.
And that all started as a joke too, or like a peer pressure internet thing as well.
It was the Reddit. The Reddit people that found stocks that had heavily shorted interest, and so when you're short, you sell first, but you have to buy back to get out. And so,
I know what that means. A guy taught me that.
there you go. Yeah, that's right. So I mean, if there's a company that has a lot of short positions in it, people know that eventually those people have to buy it to get out, and that can cause a short squeeze, and that's what happened like with AMC and with GameStop and all these kind of things. But it's the whole sign of the times right now where everything's speculative. You know that show Squid Game?
Yeah.
I heard of it. I don't.
Yeah,
know
It's
it.
actually it's a pretty good show actually. If you get an opportunity to watch 9 episodes, I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it's enjoyable.
They made a Squid Game crypto, which does nothing, which offers nothing. It's just popular and it's just gone skyrocketing. But why? What are you buying? Like, you're not buying anything. It's just a speculative frenzy of what's going on right now.
So is one of those, like a Bitcoin, is it backed by a, because they say you could buy into it, but you buy into it with a real dollar.
You buy into it with dollars, yeah.
So you're buying a Bitcoin with a real dollar. So are all the Bitcoin then backed with real dollar? Because then if that's the case, then why not just have the real dollar? I don't understand.
I like that.
Well, I would think the crypto people would tell you that there's no government body that's regulating it. It's completely anonymous. That's why it's used in a lot of like crime
Dark
things.
web. That's why you use to get people murdered.
That's
Uh-huh.
that's right.
Murder for hire. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's just dirty money.
Well, it's not really dirty money. I mean, it's a currency. It's a currency that has people believing in its value, but is there anything really there? And I look at
What can you
the
use
central
that?
banks.
What can you use that for? I guess.
Well, buying things on the dark web, I guess. They're
As long as they have
I think you can buy a Tesla
diapers, if they
You
have
buy
diapers
Tesla?
and
He takes it? Elon takes
yeah,
that
I
shit?
think Elon takes it.
diapers and formula. Do they have that on the dark web? I'm gonna need some of that.
I don't know.
He needs diapers and formula a lot. What is junk stock?
Junk stock? You're talking about junk bonds?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said junk bonds.
You said bonds. I heard you correctly. Correctly.
So, every bond has a rating, whether it's AAA or A or B or so forth. And so if you have a company like, I don't know, you have a company like Microsoft, they are going to have bonds that are AAA rated that are not going to pay very much. But the worse a company, the worse the fundamentals of a company are, they still have bonds. People can buy their bonds, but because it's riskier, they have to pay a higher yield. So you might get 1 or 2% on a corporate bond from Microsoft, but you may get 9 or 10% on a company like Sears or something because it's more risky. So they call them junk bonds because the credit worthiness is not that high, and therefore they have to pay you a higher yield to buy it. So
what I heard just now is I can buy Microsoft, but Microsoft is so high, you're not going to make that much money off of it because it's at or near its peak. Is that what I'm hearing?
well, we were talking about bonds, not the stock.
Oh, bond. God damn it. All right.
Yeah.
What's a bond?
Well, a bond is
Junk.
no. It could be.
Okay, all right,
Depending on the company, but you're essentially buying. You're buying a bond of a company. They get the money. They're paying you interest to buy that bond. So Microsoft says, "Oh, we need $5 billion for something, and we're going to pay 2.5%." So
Okay.
it's just a loan,
Okay.
essentially.
Is there a time frame on it?
Yeah.
Like a CD from a bank, so you do that bond for 10 years before you can sell it and get out of it completely?
Well, you could sell it anytime you want, but
Okay.
depending on the maturity and depending on what's going on with interest rates will affect what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, if you buy a bond on Microsoft that's a 2-year note that pays 2.5%, at the end of that 2 years, it will have paid the full 2.5%. But if you want to get it out of it in 2 days or 5 days later, you may take a loss on it.
Do you mess
because
with
then
those
you're
at all?
speculing. With bonds?
Yeah.
No, I'm mainly an equity trader.
Gotcha. Penny stocks. What's that?
Well, penny stocks are, I mean, by virtue of the name, penny stocks are stocks whose stock price trades in the pennies.
Okay, now you got an audience.
Now you're interested.
Now let me scoot my chair up a little bit, all right? So has a penny stock ever taken off?
Sure.
All right, let's talk penny stock. So I can go in and I can buy SoWhutChuSayin stock.
Yeah.
For a penny a share.
Or 10 cents or
10 cents.
18 cents.
It's under $1.
Actually, even if it's $1 or more, people could still consider it a penny stock. But I mean,
I guess you can.
Because you could find $1 worth of pennies on your couch. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the allure there is that somebody has $1,000,
Okay.
can buy, $18,000 or 18,000 shares of this penny stock. And if it's at 2 cents, but it goes to $1, then you can make all this money. But it's more of a dream than anything else. Their penny stocks are penny stocks because
They ain't shit.
they ain't shit.
They're making pennies.
Yeah, they're maybe not even making pennies, but there's a lot of fraud in there. There's a lot of market manipulation in there. People that have, $500 or $1,000, I mean, there's stories where people have put in $1,000 and they've got back, 150,000, 200, 500,000, but they don't happen very often. I mean, you get what you pay for. And if the stock is in the pennies, there's probably nothing really there that you're buying, but every once in a while something good happens. But that's the allure. People come to me and say, would you trade penny stocks? I'm like, absolutely not. I would not trade. It's too risky. It's too speculative. It's too manipulated. And people just have all these hopes and dreams to buy penny stocks. And people take advantage of that too.
Those penny stocks, did they once open? Was somebody once excited that, they're going public? And then they just plummeted down and they didn't. Blockbuster. There's one Blockbuster in America, and I think there's one somewhere else. Once Blockbuster was the king dingling. Are they now penny stocks right now? Could that happen? Because once, let's say they were $65 a share when they had commercials and Blockbuster Bowl and all that shit, or probably $165 a share, right? But now, are they penny stocks, and you buy that hoping that they do it again?
Yeah, I mean, you might think of it that way, but I mean, it just goes to show you, Blockbuster is $65. Now they have one store. That's maybe why it's 2 cents. I'm not even sure if they're public right now.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't think they are actually. I think they went. I don't think they're public anymore. But yeah, that's the idea. I mean, if you think, oh my gosh, 5 years from now, there's going to be no internet. Everybody's going to be back at the Blockbuster. Yeah, of course you go in there.
You go in there. Netflix dies, right?
Yeah. Exactly. But see, that is fundamental thinking. That is looking at the big picture. I think this company is going to do well because times are changing and doing this. But one, I'm not smart enough to do that. Most people are not smart enough to do that. What I do is I trade at the end of the day. I trade right before the market closes. Because during the day, you have the algorithms and you have the day traders. They're moving everything around. I just consider it noise. At the end of the day...
Noise. You said you consider it noise.
I consider it noise.
Like that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, right? And they're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people, best information, best technology. And at the end of the day, they start flexing their muscles and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. So they're the smartest money on the street. I want to follow what they're doing. That's why I wait till the end of the day. And they would know if Blockbuster, they're having to come back in 5 years. You would see that show up in the chart way before it was announced.
And then you could jump on it right at the end of the day and get in on the Blockbuster as it's on its way up.
Yeah. But the point is, if something good is happening in the future, people know about it. There's smart people that know about things. It just finds its way, and it will show up in the chart. It will show up in the chart.
So basically, what he's saying,
this goddamn chart he's talking about, man.
What he's saying, there's
come over to my house, man.
I definitely will.
There's an Adrian Wojnarowski in stocks that knows the behind the scenes of somebody knows something about everything. You just got to find that person to get into.
And what I like about how you get down is you're like a boxer fighting for points at the end of the round. You just throw a flurry at the end. You're getting your little licks in, right? Because you do it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When all the fucking noise has died down, you go bam, 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 bam. Cool. Wait till tomorrow. Do the same thing over again. You wake up in the morning and see what's gone, up or down, right? And you play through the wave of shit going on.
Yeah, it's all waves.
All right. Again, I asked you this earlier. I don't think we talked about it. What is RIVN stock? Do you know what that is?
I think on my podcast Friday, somebody asked me to take a look at that chart. RV, what was it?
RIVN.
RIVN. What's the name of the company?
RIVN stock. I don't know. Somebody just asked me to ask you that question.
Oh, if you type in RIVN in Google, there it will tell you the name of the stock. I don't know. It sounds familiar. I think I've traded it, but
RIVN. It's Rivian Automotive Inc.
What's the trading at?
It says 128.60.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Today it was up 4.23%.
Oh, okay, so that's a big. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I think someone on my podcast and in my trading group bought that on Friday.
Then that means that they came over here to get you get a second opinion from you, suckers.
Elephant in the room for me in my life.
Okay.
Okay. This is the shit that makes me want to jump in front of a moving fucking train.
Okay.
I remember vividly watching a commercial, and they came on. They talking about get your books from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Borders. Yep. I would go to Borders, and I would look at all the books on the shelves and see which one I would touch them and smell them and read a little back synopsis and all that stuff. I like touching books.
Yeah, I go to see the book.
I don't want a virtual book on some computer screen.
I thought it was hard at first.
Who knew that this motherfucker was going to blow up the way it is? You
Jeff
see these
Bezos,
you see these Amazon islands popping up all over the state.
When I saw the first Kindle, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Because they didn't have the backlighting on it, and so was it the Kindle or was the Nook? Sorry,
the Nook. Yeah,
the Nook, because it looked like a paperback. But it was digital because
and
when
you turn the page, it even looked like the page was turning.
And it didn't hurt your eyes. And I thought, oh, this is kind of fun, actually.
Did anybody see that coming out there except for Jeff and his boys?
I didn't. I remember trading Amazon with $6 back in the 90s. I remember when it first came out.
I can afford $6 a share.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 35 or 3,600 at the moment, and
$3,600. That if you held on to one Amazon share at $6, it was $3,600 right now.
Yeah, 34, 35.
Do you kick yourself a little bit?
Well, sure, because I've been trading so long. I look at these stocks and go, God, why was I trading this? I should have just bought it and held it. I'd be worth, all this kind. But you never know. Right?
That's my point.
There's not a lot of other Amazon stories out there. There's a lot of people that tried.
Yeah, and how big a company do you need to make it to be in stocks? Or
you mean
just
to trade stocks?
to try? Yeah, so it's
if me and Wood woke up tomorrow and go, "Hey, we're going public next Thursday." Nobody gives a fuck, right? So what are you saying is?
Yeah. You're answering it. You're explaining it better than I am.
Yeah.
Yes. How could we go public and then have people buy in, or do you have to be to a certain level? Certain size.
You gotta be
business.
on the chart. You gotta be on that chart.
Yeah, I'll put my name on a chart.
Write us on that chart.
Yeah, you can just fudge it in there. I did that plenty of times in school. My name. But do you have to be to a certain? How does that work?
It depends. It depends what stock exchange you want to be traded on. I mean, if your stock is traded on like the New York Stock Exchange, you have to do a certain amount of revenue. You have to have a certain amount of profit. If for a couple of years you don't do that, they can kick you off.
I think what he's saying is, how do they accept you? And I think you answered it right there at the end where you said they can kick you off if you don't do this. So how do you walk to New York Stock Exchange and go, "Hey, what's SoWhutChuSayin? All right, and we're gonna go public tomorrow." And they're gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of here." How do you build that buzz? Is that on sales? Because some of this stuff, not all is like tangible stuff. Again, you said Uber's public, right?
Yeah.
Maybe one day America, and I doubt it, will get up off their fat fucking asses and go get their own fucking cab or get their own food, the Uber Eats and all that shit.
Yep.
Who predicted Americans were going to be this lazy, right?
I think you could see that coming. Yeah, I think you could see that.
His point being, how do you build that buzz to get excitement for somebody to say, "Oh, they're going to be public tomorrow," and drive up the price.
And then get accepted to be.
We can say we're going to open at $3, and all of a sudden it's so much buzz that we open at $9.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Is that based on the chart that I really need?
Well,
if
you're not public yet, there is no chart yet, right?
Okay.
Right. I mean, when you go public, you have to go through the process. There's requirements. There's financial requirements.
That was my question, I guess, more than anything was, how do you get to the point where you could go public?
Well, you start with an application based upon the stock exchange that you're looking to go public at, but they'll have requirements. You have to have this much money. You have to be in business this long. You have to have this much kind of income.
Okay.
It's not really that hard to go public, but you were talking about earlier about, getting the buzz for it, people getting excited. Like there's a whole strategy, media strategy of, this company's going public, and they build a buzz about it, and they get it excited, and people get excited. Oh, I need some of that. I need some of that. And it's like at a peak frenzy point right before it goes public. And that's why you'll see a stock, that maybe it was going to go public at 6, maybe it went public at 36. But it's, everything in trading, everything in investing, it's getting people excited. Oh, I need that. And they have to create this story, and they have to create this narrative about it. And people just need it.
It's about a need. And right now, I need a bathroom break. We're going to take a break right now because I'm about ready to drown in my own urine.
Stock.
Okay. Stock.
Okay, we'll be back.
All right, so Greg, what's the next big thing as far as you can tell? Now, obviously, it happened in my lifetime. If I had just taken like $80 and bought Amazon stock and just held on to
I know.
it, right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And that's that whole Back to the Future, I think it's 3 thing, where he has the book with all the bets for the next years and the Cubs winning the World Series. And actually, I think they were only 1 year off for the Cubs winning the World Series in Back to the Future.
Well, maybe they really have one.
What do you think is next, though? If you had to put out there, I don't mean to name a specific business, but what type of venture you think is going to be the next big thing to blow the fuck up where people are going to be like, yeah, I made $1 million off that overnight. We did the computers, we did Microsoft, we did Amazon bringing shit to your door. You know what we need? We need something to keep people from stealing Amazon packages off your fucking front porch.
Yeah.
We need a business like that. Porch Pirate are us. You know what I mean? But so maybe a security company, right? Maybe ADT, maybe Wise, which is a security company.
No, but you know what? All the like. So I have those cameras around. I have the doorbell camera. All that does, because COVID. Thank you, COVID. It allowed people to wear masks and be acceptable. So now you just walk up to my porch with a mask on and you take my shit.
Yeah.
Now I still don't know who the hell you are, and they have you on camera, and it's just a big screw you, buddy. It pisses me off.
You know, I don't really know. I think probably some kind of virtual something I think will be big in the future.
The answer is porn. If you're talking virtual, it's always porn.
Yeah, well...
You can always bet on porn, right?
Well,
it's never going away.
I mean, most of the technology that we use in the internet originated with porn.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the driving force of the internet. But
what a beautiful business.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Jeannie. I just have to say this, okay? So I remember years ago, you know a story's coming. I remember years ago, we're sitting in the car. It was me, one of my dudes, and my best friend. We're sitting in the car, and we're talking about jerking off to porn. Now, I didn't even have a computer. This is probably 90, maybe 89, but people had computers. And my boy's like, how am I going to jerk off to a computer when it sounds like this? Would you like me to take my dress
it's all
off?
Stephen Hawking.
Right. All weird. And I remember him saying that. And you fast forward now to what porn is. You know what I mean?
Now
it's
you can put on the Oculus and watch it have it virtual reality.
Sex sells. Sex is always going to sell. So if you see something sexual on the internet, it's probably best bet to buy it, right? I mean, you would think if it's going to be virtual and it's going to be sex.
I think virtual something porn, if there was a company like that might be something to look at.
Now, that might be pay attention to that one, right? And not just the titties, right? Pay attention to the whole thing.
Yeah. Put an asterisk by that one.
All right. I would like to talk about now your second life.
Yeah.
No, not your second life. A different part of your life.
Yeah.
We talked about DB Cooper earlier.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
Well, so my father is one of the top suspects from the FBI. He's the only suspect that's never been fully cleared by the FBI as being DB Cooper. So he's the only active, from the FBI's perspective, person who was DB Cooper, the hijacker.
Refresh your course for DB Cooper, because a lot of our fans by this point in the podcast are fucking drunk.
Yeah.
All right. So DB Cooper, the hijack guy. I have a bomb. Here's a note. Look at the note. You need it. She sits down. I want the money. They land in SeaTac. What airport's
Seattle.
That? Seattle. Mm-hmm. They get the money. He goes back up. He leaves the ass end down, and he jumps out in a parachute.
Right.
Never to be seen again.
Right.
What makes them think your father is a suspect of that?
So, when I was 21, I was living in Salt Lake. I was going to the University of Utah. It was my birthday, and my dad asked me to come downstairs. You want to talk to me?
I don't mean, if you don't have to answer this, but when is your birthday?
February 16th.
Okay, all right, I like that.
Yeah.
Is that Aquarius?
It is.
Yeah. This is the age.
So he came down, or I went downstairs, and he said, hey, do you know who DB Cooper is? And I said, DB Cooper. I said, it sounds familiar. I said, did he rob a bank or something? And he goes, kinda. and I said, why are you telling, why are you, well, then he explained the story. He went on the plane and he gave a note to the flight attendant and said, I have a bomb. And when we land in Seattle, I want to exchange all the passengers for $200,000 plus 4 parachutes. And I'm just listening, and he goes, and so DB Cooper let the people off the plane. They brought on the money. They brought on the parachutes. They took off. They're heading to Mexico. It was a 727, so you could enter from the rear of the plane. And then DB Cooper put on his parachutes, strapped the money to himself, jumped off, and they never heard about him before. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then he took me over to a file cabinet, and in the file cabinet was every single article, newspaper, magazine article about the DB Cooper case. I was like, God, my dad really likes DB Cooper.
Yeah. Your dad, you want to date? You think he's hot?
Yeah. So anyway, so he, I remember he took out a picture, an FBI sketch of the of DB Cooper, and he said, "What do you think of this?" He goes, "Who do you think that looks like?" And I said, "It looks a little bit like you." I was like, "That's right."
Wow. He said, "That's right?"
Yeah, he said, "That's right." I was DB Cooper, and I was like, "What?" And I was kind of shocked. I didn't know much about the hijacking, right, other than when he had just told me.
You're in your own business at that age, right? You're worried about yourself.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right, right.
I was 21,
Right. You're worried about yourself.
And, to this day, I really regret not asking him a lot of questions. But I was kind of in shock. I mean, I did ask him one question. I said, well, where's the money?
Yeah.
And he says it's in a safety deposit box in Canada. And then he went in, he showed me the keys, which came back later because I was hypnotized by the FBI. They wanted to know what the keys looked like.
He said open a gum company in a couple of years.
I don't think I didn't really know I was starting that yet. But yeah, and I said, "Where's the money?" He says it's in Canada, and the only other thing he told me was, "Do not tell your mother."
Ooh, nice.
Don't tell Teresa. And so I never told. I never asked him any other questions. I regret it to this day. And then one day I was in my truck. It was Thanksgiving Eve. As a matter of fact, the night that it happened, in Coast to Coast, they were doing a special on it. They had an investigator there. They're talking about the case and da-da-da. And I listened to the whole thing. And they said, maybe somebody out there really knows who DB Cooper is. And I remember thinking, I think I do. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote down the investigator's number. I called my brothers and asked them. I said, "Hey,
older brothers, younger brothers?"
Older brothers. And I said,
"So you're the youngest?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, "Did Dad ever talk to you about a hijack?" And they're like, "Yes, he did." And I said, "Well, I just listened to this Coast to Coast program, and there's this investigator. I think he'd be interested. How about we just get to the bottom of this and find out if Dad really was DB Cooper?" And so I contacted him, and he's like, "Yeah, a lot of people think their dad's DB Cooper." And he goes, "What do you have to show?" And I sent him a picture. I showed you guys the picture earlier.
Put that picture on our social shit, would you?
Yeah, well, I got it.
Do you mind if we do that?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so once he got the picture, he was super interested. So the last 15 years, he has been studying this case. He's gone through my whole family history. I mean, everything through my dad's military record and work record, all of this. So he has a book coming out this year that's going to be a big book. As a matter of fact, he was even contacted by George Clooney because George Clooney is a big fan of my dad's story. Mm-hmm. And they're like, has the FBI put their stamp of approval on this? And they said, no, that probably will never happen. But a book's coming out. And so supposedly George Clooney wants to play my dad in this movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? So what was your dad's background? Because DB Cooper jumped out in the rain in the night in some parachute. Was your dad a paratrooper?
Yeah, he was special forces. He was 2 tours in Vietnam, and he was a halo jumper, a high altitude, low opening jumper with parachutes.
What did he do with all the money? Here he is. How much did he get?
$200,000.
$200,000 in 71 too?
Yeah.
71. It might as well be $30 million today, right?
Yeah.
What did you guys all of a sudden have, like gold-plated kitchen floors? Did you have a platinum toilet? Platinum wasn't out in the 70s, but what happened? Did things get better all of a sudden? You had Adidas instead of Jocks? What went down?
I never saw any of that. I told you earlier that my dad did pay off the house that they just bought.
Just bought.
What'd
your dad do for a living?
He started the ROTC up at Weber State.
Okay, which doesn't pay a lot.
No.
Okay,
but he made $15,000 a year.
And he paid off the house, which to me today is a red flag. But back then they're just like, oh, he's real good at saving. Yeah. Maybe he had what are those blue stamps? Remember blue stamps? Used to go to the store. Green stamps.
We had those.
So he paid off the house, and you didn't know that till you were older because you don't care about a house payment. As
I didn't know about it till a year ago.
Really?
Through this investigation. Yeah.
Okay, so. He did that. What else did he do? Midlife crisis, Porsche, Corvette.
You know, I think the reason he did it was because my mom and my dad had just divorced. My dad wasn't good with money. He never had a penny. And you know,
Well, if he's DB Cooper, he's real fucking good with money. To be honest with you, I mean, let's reevaluate that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think it was done because he was trying to get my mother back. I think that's really the whole underlying story of the reason for the story of why he hijacked the plane.
Do you think she knew and she just didn't tell you she knew?
You know, it's interesting because she had told me, I know something about your father can get him a lot of trouble, but she never told me what it was. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I remember because he came 30 days after the hijacking. It was Christmas Eve. I was just a little kid. I was like 4 years old. And he came and he had this trench coat. And out of the trench coat, he brought just these bands of cash. Must have been $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. And that was my first time I'd really seen money. So I really, really remember it. And I remember my mom going, "Oh, Bill, what?" I remember it didn't ring true to me. Like she knew. Something like that. So I kind of have a gut feeling that she knew.
Your father looks a lot like the drawing.
Yeah.
I think that's the drawing the flight attendant gave, whatever her name. I can't remember her name.
Shatner was her last name. That she gave to the FBI, yeah.
Looks a lot like him, man.
It does. It really does. I shared that up on the social media, so if anybody wants to check that out. That also said to Google, it's Wolfgang Gossett, right?
Yeah.
And DB Cooper. And you can see the side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah. It is.
Incredible.
What do you think? So there was the one where the kids found, I think it was in the 80s, they found the money by the bank of where he jumped out?
$5,880, yeah.
See, let me ask you this. Was your dad not an approachable person? Why wouldn't you continue to ask him questions about that? Because if my father came to me and said, "Guess what? I'm, I don't know, Jack the Ripper," I'd be like, "Oh, really? Let's talk about it." You know what I mean? Or I'm the Zodiac Killer. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah. I was kind of scared of my dad.
Okay, yeah.
I was scared of my dad, and, he was known to tell a tall tale or two. And so... But this was different because he never told any females. He only told his sons. I don't really think he trusted women so much.
Smart guy. No, just playing. Just playing, Jeannie. Just playing, Jeannie. All right.
So but him showing up with the money, I mean, no one can ever tell me. I mean, he showed up with $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 in cash. He made $15,000 a year, and it was 1 month after the hijacking happened, and he looked like it, and he had the training, and he was, not scared of anything ever. And through this investigation, all the things that I found out, learned about my dad. I mean, the FBI was super into. I mean, they did my DNA. They hypnotized me so I could tell them the regression hypnosis, so I could tell them about the Christmas Eve when I gave him the money. They're trying to match up the keys to banks in Canada so that they can locate. And that money is worth a ton of money because of the collectible value.
So it's still in this account, you think?
That's what our investigator thinks.
But your father's passed on.
Yes.
Is your mother still with us?
No.
So your mother's passed on. You would think the bank would contact at least your oldest brother.
Well, he didn't use a real name.
Yeah. DB. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, that would make sense.
He said, "My name is DB."
Yeah.
Aren't you fucking smart? Okay. So here they are looking for a David Brian Cooper.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Where do you think he came up with that name from?
Oh, okay. So that's kind of a misnomer that came from the press. The name on the ticket was Dan Cooper, but someone in the press inadvertently called him DB Cooper in the interview, and it just stuck.
So there's no DB anywhere.
No.
Do you know any Coopers? You got cousins, uncles?
No.
Nobody Cooper?
No. But my uncle's name is Danny, and I think that's where the Dan came from. Where he came up with Dan Cooper, I don't know, but I think Dan came from
Gary
my uncle.
Cooper.
Gary Cooper.
His brother and Cooper.
There you go.
Wow. That's incredible. So
It-
it's you and how many brothers?
2.
No girls.
One sister. I've never met her.
Never met.
Yeah.
Dad's sister or dad's daughter or mom's daughter?
Dad's daughter.
So dad had a lot of other things going on. All right, so you and the brothers, you guys all believe this? You know.
I think so. I mean, my dad was on his deathbed up in Washington, and my brother Stephen, who he and my father were estranged, and my dad was on his deathbed, and that's when he told him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's when he told him. So, yeah.
He held on to it that long.
And
then it was.
Yeah.
I mean, now if you're on your deathbed, if it's a story you're just telling to get some clout, just to, get your kids excited about your life as whatever, okay, you tell that. But then you go to your deathbed and you hang on to that story and you retell it that way. It seems to have a little bit more weight.
A lot of weight.
In my
a lot of weight.
Because a lot of people on their deathbed, they talk about men specifically, a lot of the regrets in their lives, a lot of things that they wish they would have done in their lives,
right.
A lot of things that they did that they wish they wouldn't have, or they share a lot. Men on their deathbed share a lot more than women, in case you're curious. But don't ask me how I know that. It doesn't matter. But for him to say that on his deathbed is quite incredible, really. To share that, which I think holds a lot.
It
holds a lot of weight there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's incredible.
I think so. I think he just wanted to get it off his chest to my brother. It's a wild story. I mean, it's a wild story. I look at, some of the evidence and some of the people that were interviewed, but I know that he showed up with almost $30,000 in cash 30 days after the hijacking. He looks like him. He has the training, And
I didn't know the name. Wolfgang Gossett.
Yeah.
I didn't know the name, but I've listened to several podcasts where it talks about a guy in Utah that was a strong suspect in this going on. And when you put the picture up there, if that's your father and those fucking drawings, for me, I'm like,
that's the guy.
That guy right there. He did that shit. He did that. Incredible, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's sometimes I kind of trip out about it. You know what I mean? I read it and I was like, God, is that really my father? I mean, it's.
Hey, man, we all of us have a life, and there's some. Do you have kids?
No.
So you don't have to tell your deep dark secrets, right? Where you really did walking down Oregon, right? There's been a lot of mass murderers up in Oregon, serial killers up there. No, I'm just playing with you, Greg. I'm just playing. I got another question back to the financial part of it. How soon should you start putting your money elsewhere before you retire, or do you just wait? All right. Somebody wants to know, when getting a financial advisor, after you retire, you get a financial advisor and you start paying them.
Okay.
Which is kind of bullshit. I earned all this money and I'm paying you to tell me what to do with it. When should I start doing this? When should I start saying, all right, where do I put my money? They should come to you. They should watch your podcast. Right?
I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. I think I just answered the question.
I think my best advice, this is the best advice I could give anyone on finance, especially if you have kids. The best asset you can have with investing is time on your hands, right? Starting investing when you're young. If your mother and father put away $1 a day for you, like when you were a baby, if they put $1 a day away from you, just put it in the indexes like the S&P 500, at your age right now, you would have close to $1 million. Just with
$1 a day.
Wow.
$1 a day. If your parents would have put $1 a day away from you, you would have the same amount. Same with Jeannie, right?
No, Jeannie wouldn't have $1 million. She has 500,000 because she's younger than us.
Yeah, she might have 500, but she would still have a significant amount.
Right,
I mean, if you have kids or for yourself, the best thing that you can do. I'm not talking about trading. I'm not talking about what I do. I'm just talking about putting away $1 a day, putting away $5 a day, putting away whatever you can put away each month. Getting in the habit of doing it. If you do that, by the time you're retired, if you start young, you're going to have a ton of money. Just from the fact that it's not going to be in your hands for you to go out and spend it.
Right.
And you don't have to be rich. You don't have to have a degree. Everyone can afford $1 a day, especially for their kids. And so the best thing is put away money, put it away on a regular basis, get it out of your hands so you can't spend it, and it can go somewhere where it can start to make money. But that's the key. I mean, they call it dollar cost averaging, where you put a little in this month and you put a little in this month, and when it's lower, you put in more, and then it goes up. But over time, it goes up. I mean, that's the best advice. What most people do is they wait till they're in their 40s or wait till in their 50s. Like, oh man, I got to get this like retirement thing going. I need to learn about trading. You can do it, but you have less time on your hands.
Correct.
And so you have to be more aggressive and you have to take more risk to make some kind of return. If you're young, I mean, you know, if you're 5 years old, you can put that $1 away, $2 away. You're gonna be a millionaire by the time you're retired.
You say those things, but you're talking to a guy that hung out with guys that it took 12 people to get $7 for a case of Keystone.
Yeah.
12 people to get $7. I had 38 cents in my pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So $1 a day was a little bit much for me. I want to hear your views on these different types of ways to invest. Okay, 401k match, is that a good gig?
Yeah.
Roth IRA, is that a good gig?
It depends.
Like it. Yeah, come on. Give it to me. Give it to me, Greg.
Well, it depends whether you're talking like pre-tax money. I mean, whether you're using a regular IRA or a Roth IRA. I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to both. Some get, taxed earlier, some are taxed later. It really depends on your financial situation. I mean, and that's something you probably should discuss with your financial advisor. But, financial advisor.
Looking like it's going to be you after this podcast.
I think most people get too affected by the media and what stories are, and this company sounds good. If I would just buy an index, I would just buy the S&P 500, where your money's spread across 500 different stocks, and just invest on a regular basis.
That's what I do now.
And it's probably worked out well for you, hasn't
it? Sure.
I would imagine. The market's up, right?
Yeah, well, the market's doing great.
Yeah.
But so don't pull it out.
Well,
because wood never pulls out.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
right. No, that's where you end up with about 30.
Hence all the footsteps upstairs.
Uh-huh. And the kids in Mexico that I had to go visit.
That's a true story.
Yeah. So I don't mean to go back, but we did get a comment, and I missed it on before we switched from the DB Cooper. We had somebody ask, curious about the key in Canada. Did they ever find the money there, or the rest of any of the money?
They have not. No, they have not.
Because that's where you said that likely a different name was used under the deposit up there in Canada. Okay, all right. That was all.
They have not found anything as far as I know.
Damn. Except instructions on how to start a gum company.
Interesting. Wonder where the funding for that came from. Wonder where the backing came from.
All right. So you said Roth IRA is okay. Depends. 401k straight, just no backing, no match. Is that still a good investment?
Not as good as match.
Not as good, but it's still good.
Of 401 investing is basically just what I was talking about. Steady investing each month. One's a 401k, so there's tax ramifications.
But with the match, you got double whatever's going on.
Of course, that's the best investment you can get. It's like 100%.
Okay, then I got backdoor IRA. No, I think that's backdoor IRA.
Backdoor IRA.
Could be IRA too. I don't know.
It's IRA. Let's go with IRA.
Backdoor IRA. Is that a good deal?
Honestly,
not for IRA.
It depends on what she's into.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, all right. How about brokerage?
Well, a brokerage is like
it's you.
No. You have to have a broker to place trades, whether it's Merrill Lynch or Charles Schwab. It's just a brokerage company. It's like a real estate company that has different agents working for them. You have to have a broker's license. So in order to transact stocks, you have to have a brokerage license. So when you say brokerage, I don't.
That's just why it's too broad.
It's too broad. Yeah.
Okay. My problem is this. Okay, so the other day, I told you about this. Air. I invented something, and for about 38 seconds, I was the richest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah,
and then I Googled it, and it had already been invented. I was so fucking pissed. Today, I went to Lowe's, and I found gloves with lights on all the knuckles and all the fingers. So when you're working on something together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you say that. Why didn't I invent it?
Yeah.
I get pissed off in the selfie stick.
Yeah,
I get pissed off that little fucking holder for the back of your cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
Pop socket. Yeah, this little bad boy right here. Yeah, that thing.
All this shit is right there for all of us to take.
Yep.
And we don't take it. These finger-like gloves, these little matrix shit, I should have invented that. Because number one, I can't see a fucking thing. Number two, my hand's so big I can't grab any small screw or nut and put it together. But these lights would help me. I saw it. It pissed me off. Ugh.
Yeah, you missed the boat.
I would like to invent something.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
I've invented a few things in my life, right? And a lot of them don't work out, but sometimes, like the gum, it does. Everyone has ideas. I've heard almost everyone in my life go, I had this idea, and I saw it at Lowe's, right? If you have an idea, everything that's out there that's been invented, some guy or some girl just went, you know what? The difference was whether or not they took action and did anything with it, or if they went, and then they saw it later and went, fuck. You know what I mean?
Picture it. To quote the Golden Girls, picture it. Boston, 1977.
Okay.
We're going to the store. No adults are home. My cousin Leisha says, I want to leave a note. She takes a piece of paper and she folds it and does a little lick thing and she tears it apart. She writes a note, then she takes some Vaseline, takes a note, sticks it to the fucking door. What does she invent?
Post-it.
Post-it notes. I get a hard-on and I get pain in my anus at the same time. Knowing that my cousin invented fucking Post-it notes and we didn't capitalize on that shit. We're only 7 years old, though.
Yeah.
We're only 7 years old.
Sense.
So we don't know any better. But every time I see a Post-it note, that's what happens.
Pisses you off,
Anus, dick,
Together.
two different sensations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both can be pleasurable and both can hurt. Yep.
That's everybody has good ideas. It's whether or not you take action.
I thought you were going to say everybody has anus pain. I really thought you were going to say that because I was caught into my own shit. I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
No, it's just whether or not you take action.
Yeah.
And some people do. And I mean, every invention out there, people go, why didn't I think of that?
Yes.
You know what I mean? You hear that. Caffeine gum, I heard that. Well, that's obvious. That's got to be out.
Well,
no, it's not.
You did invent
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did do that. Greg.
But you don't have to be smart. I'm not smart. All you have to have is an idea.
Yeah. Consider who you're sitting across from.
Greg,
I would say you're smart.
Greg,
but
we're going to go on the smart scale. You got us way over here, and you got the medium scale, like somebody can tie their shoes, and then you got Greg way over here, smart.
Yeah.
We're gonna go smart.
Let's go with that.
I'm glad you're humble though. I'd like to tell you this right now, Greg. Be sure to bring up politics at Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
It's going to save you money on Christmas gifts.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Nice.
politics, I want you to bring up why your aunt only has a girlfriend and a roommate. I want you to bring that up. I want you to bring up the fact why your uncle can't be alone with the kids during the Thanksgiving. Bring up all that shit. Family turmoil, because 30 days from there you got Christmas and you don't have to buy gifts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is what you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's a good investment. Penny saved, penny earned.
I know investment shit right
beautiful.
there, right? I know how to save money. Oh, great. I got to tell you, here's my theory. So when I used to date back in the day, and this is for the young guys that listen to us and girls.
Oh, yeah, we're here. We're at this part of the year.
So,
You haven't given the disclaimer until
I haven't given it in a while, huh?
No, you haven't.
given it in a while.
So here we are.
Thanksgiving, right? So I'm going to start at the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, you can have a girlfriend, you cannot have a girlfriend, but you want to really not have one or a boyfriend.
Valentine's.
Because you got Valentine's
Day.
Day. That's expensive.
Yep.
Right?
You gotta be careful.
So you want to be single from January 1st, January 2nd, because you want to find the good parties, right? All the way through to March 17th.
That's a good time to start.
March 17th, you start doing it because you find the drunk girls or guys at the St. Patty's Day parties, okay?
Yep.
Then you want to, you stay with them, get through Memorial Day, get through 4th of July and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Start breaking up with them. August, September.
Oh, expensive months are coming.
Expensive months are coming. Here's a finance guy. He knows this trick.
Oh, yeah, he's not dumb.
So here comes Thanksgiving. You kind of got a friend, but maybe you got a girlfriend or not because you want a place to eat. All right? You don't want to just go hang out with your auntie and want you to take her bra off like a slingshot out of one arm, which always freaked me the fuck. Your auntie would have these nice, firm Diana Ross titties, all right? And then she'd put her hand behind her back, and it would shoot out this way, and all of a sudden she'd look like an old-ass Etta James.
Yeah, and then she put them in her front pockets.
They'd be in her pockets. You'd be like, ugh. Mom, why is her chest drooped down to her knees, right? But you want that meal. But now you're in the fucking pressure.
Yeah.
Because here comes fucking Christmas, and you want to be solo on Christmas. So
Gotcha.
you young guys right now, you young girls right now, you got 2 weeks to clean your slate.
Plan it out.
Clean it. Get the free meal.
Yep.
Get the free. Matter of fact, take a gift. Take either flowers. Take some canned cookies from fucking Walmart.
You could buy those terrible cookies that are the shortbread cookies.
In the tin.
Yeah.
Get a patty pie. Patty LaBelle makes sweet potato pies. Get a patty pie. Take it with you. But after that, you got to start missing these motherfuckers. Anyway, Wood, is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying. And Greg, is that what you're saying over there? You could say yes or no, or
I'm going to stay neutral on that one.
We never tell the guests.
No,
that's
but I
in
love
the
it.
show, right?
I know, I love it, though.
And Grace just look at. I'm not saying what you just said. I said what I was saying. I don't want any involvement in that over. Greg's going for a walk. Greg's going to leave here and go for a walk. We did that to him.
He's going to need a walk after this show, guys. That's what we're all saying over here. I hope if you've taken anything out of this episode this week, it's that we had DB Cooper's son on. And then if you want to learn more about stocks and how to do that, I posted the YouTube link to his channel up there earlier. Can you, Greg, just tell us one more time, what is it? Your YouTube.
It's Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. It's on YouTube. It's Monday through Friday during the last hour of the market. If you just type in Gossett Trading in YouTube, it comes up. And, it's live.
But we're not just local. We're worldwide because we're fancy like this. So when's the last hour of the market? You need to...
Well, that's why I said last hour of the market, because it's different for everyone around the world.
But the last hour is the last hour, whether it be in New York, Utah, California,
what time
Tennessee.
Is it? So it's 5 o'clock in New York?
It is. We close at 2 here. It's 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Why did they close so early? To clean up all the paper, huh?
Yeah, because it's all on the floor.
Yeah, I guess.
I saw trading places. I saw all the paper on the floor.
That's a real story, by the way.
Talk to me.
We got a minute.
So there's a group of traders called the Turtle Traders, and they're famous. It's a famous trading approach. And there were two guys, and you'll catch on here in a minute. There were two guys, very wealthy, that ran a hedge fund. One of them said, you can't teach people how to trade. It's an innate ability. They either know how to do it or they don't. And the other partner said, no, I think you can teach anyone how to trade it. Mortimer and because this is real.
Yeah, right.
And so they went out and they put an ad in the Wall Street Journal, and they said, we want policemen, we want carpenters, we want piano players, we don't want any finance people or accounting people. We just want
regular people.
They trained them on this turtle trading method, which is a trend trading approach. And after they trained them for about 2-3 weeks, they gave each one $1 million to trade. Was their money. And
they gave them in their account?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't give it to them, but they said...
so you can just take the $1 million and walk away.
No, you can't do that.
That's what I would have done.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, but they made them... They taught them the approach, and they said, trade what we taught you. Here's $1 million. They traded it. The turtle trader guys, these two guys, ended up making, $400 or $500 million with this. And the one guy who said, I told you anybody could be taught to trade. And the guy had to give him $1. That's all they bet.
That's really the bet. That was a real fucking deal, for real.
It was real. That's how Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and
the old guys,
Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, so
Dan Aykroyd.
Trading Places was based upon
incredible
a true story.
Did your mentor teach you that, or how'd you learn that?
I just learned that through all my years of reading trading books and so forth.
That's incredible.
But you can be taught to trade. How do
you feel about trading cards in Vegas? Is that always a good deal? Because that's my invest. That and the lottery.
Trading you mean counting cards?
No, I mean you got 16 and I got 18. Be nice to me.
That. Okay.
And then you hit a 5 and I lose, and I'm like, God damn it! I should have gave my money to Greg.
Well,
gambling is a shit. They didn't build those buildings by losing, right?
Listen, in trading, I mean, I use this analogy all the time. I mean, if you go to Las Vegas and you play, anything other than blackjack and counting cards and poker, there's a mathematical edge that the house has. It just has that. And over time, they don't win every hand, but over time, they're always going to beat the player because they have a mathematical edge. It's just a mathematical certainty. Not in poker, because that's a skill game. Not in blackjack. If you count cards, you can overcome the house edge. That's why they don't let you do that, and they kick you out. But it's the same thing with trading. If you trade the correct way, if you have the right setup, you have the right risk to reward ratio, you have the right edge, you are the casino. You're not going to win every trade, right? I mean, you're not going to make money on every trade. Just like Las Vegas, there's plenty of times somebody throws the dice, the casino loses, or somebody gets 21. I mean, if you played blackjack at the Bellagio and you had 5 blackjacks in a row, do you think they're like, oh my God, we got to close up shop? We're done. Of course not. No, they don't care because they know in the long run it's the same.
They send the Asian lady over. That's what they fucking do.
The cooler.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
The cooler.
And there's always a fucking Asian lady. I don't give a fuck what anybody says right now. You beat up a white guy, you beat up a black girl, and they go.
Yeah,
And they go like this. And here comes this Asian lady. You know what she doesn't do? She doesn't talk to you. She doesn't have time for conversation. She comes out there and she whips your fucking ass. And you say, you know what? I'm going to beat this Asian bitch. Is what I'm going to do. And you end up losing all the money. And then you go to the ATM and you come back and you lose more money. I've been there several times. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's fucking facts. Anybody who's been to Vegas knows the shit. Greg's not in his head. He knows.
I used to live in Vegas. I know.
Yeah. It's a thing. Anyway.
No. I got one more thing to say.
Okay, one more. Sorry.
One more thing.
Okay.
How much money does somebody need to get started with you?
With me?
Yeah, like if you're on the computer and you're doing your thing, and somebody's like, "I got $8," you're like, "Come back tomorrow," and then somebody else is like, "Oh, I got $500." Like, all right, you're almost there. And somebody comes up and they got $2,000. You're like, "All right, cool, we can work with this." You know what I'm saying? Are you open to any and everybody?
Well, I mean, well, there's a difference in how much money do you need to start trading as a person, or if you want to work with me, let's just say, how much money do you need to start with trading? In the past, you needed a little bit, a substantial amount of money, because there's always commissions involved in buying and selling. If you have a smaller amount of money, then those commissions are a larger percentage. But now in the stock market, with most brokers, there are no commissions. You just buy and sell. There's zero commission. So what you start out with is less important, because it's not going to be, your profits are not going to be taken away from you with the commission. So it's probably one of the best times in the world to ever become a trader, because there's not commissions that you have to overcome. As far as working with me, I don't manage people's money. I teach, right?
You don't make any money off your YouTube thing in terms of people that are following your.
No.
I don't want to call it advice. I want your recommendation.
Well, they watch me. They watch how I trade. They see what my methodology is. They understand what my process is, and that's really why I started it. Because I told you what happened to me when I was in my 20s. I didn't want that to happen. I mean, I want people to learn correct trading from the beginning. I mean, I don't know if you guys are golfers, but I mean, if you've golfed for 10 or 5, 10, 15 years and you're kind of a hack. If one day you say, I want to go to a professional golf instructor, he's going to have to break you of all these horrible habits, all this stuff, right? If someone who's never golfed comes in and learns the correct way the first time from a professional, they don't have to overcome that. That's the best way. Right. And that's what I like when I teach trading. I like when somebody comes to me that knows nothing. They don't have any bad habits that I have to overcome.
Talking to the right people.
Yep.
Yeah.
No bad habits.
No habits.
And I'm not a golfer.
No habits.
So, yeah.
But I like gum. I chew gum every day.
Yes. Yeah.
So right there, I mean, I don't feel like you answered my question. How much do you need to walk to you and say, all right, I'm going to watch Greg every day for 3 months, and I have $3,000? Is that something that somebody could come and walk out with $3,700? Can they walk out with $47,000? In theory, because you got to, you pay attention to shit and you ride all the stuff we talked about earlier.
Yeah. What
does somebody want to walk to you with? And I say this for our listeners who are on EBT. Who are on? They're just selling rims and shit. They're going.
What would you recommend that they begin with? How much? Is there a dollar amount?
Yeah. Is there a dollar amount?
I don't really think there's a specific dollar amount. I think that's why I'm kind of hesitating in answering.
Okay.
There's really no specific dollar amount. And with what's going on in the market right now, without the commissions, you can basically start with anything.
Okay.
You can start with anything. And as far as watching my channel, it's totally free.
All right.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to have a certain amount of money, but I would suggest coming to the podcast and watching it. I mean, and I have an online course available at udemy.com. It's like $12. That is what I would suggest if somebody wants to learn how to trade.
What is it again? What's the?
It's called
Udemy.com.
Udemy.com.
Y-O-U?
U-D-E-M-Y.
UDEMY.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the name of the course is the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. And like I said, it's $12 or $15, and there's 9.5 hours of video. There's 26 videos or 15 study guides. I mean, if somebody wants to get started and not invest a lot of money in like private teaching and so forth like that, that is a great course. I mean, I sell it all over the world, and I've had so much good feedback and reviews on that course. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to make the $12 here. You know what I mean?
No,
Sure.
But I'm just saying that, I mean, if you want to learn some good trading principles, that course is an amazing course.
Greg, you have a passion for this shit. I just see it in like talking to you off air and talking to you on air, and then when you get in your element talking about this stuff, it's beautiful to watch that shit. It's like listening to Barishnikov talk about dancing or Jordan talking about free throws. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shooting free throws with his eye closed or whatever the case. I like that. I love the passion. I'm so glad you came on here, man. And I would suspect you got people who can barely read. Let's be honest, all right? Our listeners, some of, I mean, look at us. You talk to us.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're like, oh my God.
We made it.
Yeah, right. But hopefully you on Monday through Friday at the close of stock, which is 2 o'clock our time.
Well, it starts at 1 o'clock Mountain
See how
Standard.
stupid I am? See what I just did?
1 o'clock.
This is my point.
Mountain Standard Time.
We have people coming in 1 a.m.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the screen, right?
1 to 2. But I mean, listen, I mean, if I could make a plea to anyone, the best advice I have, invest money each month, put it away, get it out of your grubby, dirty little hands, get it away from you. Put it in the market, dollar cost average, doesn't have to be a lot. $30, $50, $100. You will be so glad you did when you retire. I mean, that trading's a whole other thing, right? I mean, it's a whole other thing. But long-term, big picture, just put away some money each month. By the time you're retired, you will think back and go, my God, am I glad that I did this? And you know, anyone else there has kids, do it for your kids. It's the best way for long-term wealth, and you don't have to have a high-paying job to do it. It's just like going to the gym. If you get in the habit of going to the gym every day, you're going to see results.
Right.
Just put it away.
I get in the habit of going up to play the lottery once a month, and that hasn't paid off. Is that, oh, you pointing at me? Is that a bad thing? That's a good thing? It's a horrible thing. I've been doing it for fucking 20-something years, and I can't win shit. There was one time the lottery was up to $400 million, and you know what I did? This is my arrogant ass, Greg, okay? So I'm in line, and I stay in line for 45 minutes. I get in, I get my ticket. I walk out with my ticket, and I tell the rest of these assholes, guess what? Go home. Here's the winning ticket right here. I didn't win shit, all right? But Greg, we're coming to you. Again, once again, Wood, is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying. And Greg, I know that's what you're saying. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there it is. We did it again. We outroed twice. Guys, check him out. I posted up his links on the live on the social medias there. I'll also have it for those of you listening just to the podcast audio version only. We'll link those up in the description. And if you click those, it'll post them there. We're hoping to have here soon on Spotify this video as well. We're just waiting for our thumbs up and approval to have that posted with Spotify. Until then, you can check out our beautiful faces and Greg's if you want to see that on Facebook, YouTube, and strangely enough, Twitch.
The FBI is looking at his face just to get fucking facial recognition.
They're doing facial recognition through this whole podcast. Like, oh, this is the guy.
That's him. That's his son.
This is his son. We're going to do it. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow, 11/21/21, Tiger Claw Tattoo. They're doing the fundraisers. Check them out. If you don't want to go get tattooed and you just want to donate, they're also selling art over there, so you can go down, swing by, purchase some art. That's beautiful stuff that they have 5 different artists that are showing up and donating some of their art to purchase. You can also Venmo us at SoWhutChuSayin, and we'll kick that over to Shay directly. And I got to tell Keith and I got to tell Greg that this week it has been nothing short of a pleasure.
We out like DB Cooper on the tail end of a jet. We out.